Coach, you've been saying for a while that, you've noticed this team getting better even when the results haven't always been there. Now that you're seeing the results, what are you seeing from your players? I mean, a reward for hard work is always a win, but are you seeing that confidence growing now that they're seeing results?
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt of that. I think you saw it even in the games where we didn't win. I think we've had a little bit of continuity, even though the other night we were still missing players. Our core group is there. I think they figured out some roles, and what they can do and how they can help the team. And then now I think the big step is, figuring out how to win. And, both games very, very similar. The last two that we've won, 29-29 at halftime, 5-point lead the opponent. We've been there a lot throughout the year. And usually we go the wrong way. And this last two games, we've made the plays. We've had the tough stops at the end and got the rebounds and made the free throws. So, now hopefully be happy and satisfied with that and continue moving forward. We still miss some open looks. I think once in a while we miss some people on some passes. We're still getting a feel of that, where to look and who's open. If we can do that, obviously we can continue to take some steps. But a tough challenge on Saturday at West Virginia. I know Oklahoma had played really well and actually beat them recently, but West Virginia is playing at a high level, and it's amazing what Bob's been able to do, especially the consecutive wins on the road.
And just one other thing, Coach, I do want to hear more about West Virginia, but are you guys even talking at all about, the Big 12 tournament and what you guys could accomplish there?
Well, yeah, somebody asked about it after the game. Obviously, we just got to continue making improvement. If we make improvement, you can see that you get a chance to get wins. So that's the most important thing. Stay focused on the task. Keep improving. Hopefully stay healthy. Get through the season. But yeah, I mean, we just showed we can beat Oklahoma, who's one of the top teams in the league. I thought we competed with Kansas. If we make a few shots, and you get to March, anything can happen. And in this crazy year, there's going to be somebody come out of nowhere that has success at the end. But we got to worry about today's practice and being ready and continue to make the progress that I hope they want to make. That's the biggest thing. It's not what I want. It's more what they want and where their mindset is.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep. Thank you.
Next question to Kellis Robinette.
Hey, Bruce, what's the injury report looking like right now heading into this next one?
Well, I went down to the training room yesterday afternoon and, we were off. It's our day off because it's a Tuesday game. You got to give the day off. But, there were, I would say half our guys were in there. But, Dejuan said it didn't hurt as much as it did after TCU or Kansas game. So that was positive. Antonio said he's able to walk without the pain. Now can he run and jump and that, without pain? We'll see today if we progress him a little bit. Rudy thought that he's going to try to give practice a go. What happened last week, he just got hit wrong on that hand. It's something that's bothered him from the beginning of the year, and it made it tough. So, if he can, make some progress and shoot the basketball and not get hit again, maybe we can get him back. Carlton's probably, it would be Iowa State before we have a chance to probably see him again after some therapy and rest here.
And when you look at West Virginia, obviously they made life miserable for you guys on offense in the first meeting. what's the key to counteracting that and not turning the ball over so much in the rematch?
Yeah, I mean, I talked with the staff yesterday. We met, and then I talked, actually, Jermaine Henderson as a scout. We talked this morning again. And, for me, it's going to be the start of the game, dealing with their pressure, their denial defense, and then the starts of possessions. I think if we can get into the start of the possession, now, it's that team that's fighting you early, but if you could break that first line of defense, you can get inside and cause some damage. So those are, it's easier said than done. But the other part is we had 28 turnovers, and I said that, if you remember that game, we cut it to 8 and we had a wide open 3. If we make that thing, it's 5, and instead they go down and make back-to-back 3s. So our defense was pretty solid, and we gave ourselves a chance despite the turnovers. So if we can, obviously cut those turnovers back, stay solid on defense, get into some offense early, and who knows what can happen. We thought we might catch them in the middle of the sandwich between the 2 Baylor games. They changed that tonight's game. They canceled it, and again, I'm not complaining. I understand, and you want to protect the athletes, and that's the most important thing with the number of games in this stretch, and to have those teams have a chance to finish strong. But I'm sure they just came off a 2-game road trip. I'm sure they'll be ready to play, and they got Baylor on the horizon.
And here's a question we haven't gotten to ask you much this year. How has your team handled winning over the last 48 hours?
I just think they felt good. This group, they've been very resilient. They want to do well. When we've lost, they've come in and watched film. When we won, they came in and they were around and watched film. I think I saw every guy yesterday. Obviously, a lot of them were in the training room, but I said it the other day. I told them 3 weeks ago, I don't want the season to end because, 1, they're a good group to coach. 2, they've made improvement, and you wish it would have been a little sooner, but it's at least they're getting their diligence, and it's paying off for them, and I'm happy for them, and hopefully we can continue this over the last stretch of the season. I think they should, we got to get there, but we'll be close to completing our entire schedule, which obviously a lot of people have not done that. So, but we still got to get through tomorrow's test and next week and the following week after that. But they've been pretty disciplined and diligent about taking care of their business.
All right. Thanks, Bruce. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Next question of Michael Goins.
Yeah, Bruce, early in the season, if you shot 38.5% against a top 10 team, you probably wouldn't have much of a chance. You mentioned resiliency. How much has that grown and progressed over the course of the season?
Oh, it's tremendous. And just, I don't know if it's confidence or what it is, but that mental toughness of when the other team makes a run or things aren't going perfect against you, to keep grinding. We get up 38-31, they go on a run. A month ago, that we probably it would have went the other way, and they would have, gone. Even a few weeks ago, it happened against Kansas. We weren't winning, but it was a close game. So that execution, discipline, the mental toughness, all those things we've made some strides there. And I hope it continues against a team that just spanked us, to be honest, and that's what's 5-6 weeks ago. Obviously we were a little shorthanded at that time, but now we're going to have to, see if we're up to the task on Saturday.
You've missed some looks, but they've been open looks. You got shot almost 60% against TCU from 2-point range. How much has the quality of shots increased over this stretch?
I mean, it's gotten way better in the last month, and running offense, passing the ball, moving the ball. And we still once in a while, every fifth, sixth possession, we'll get somebody to, hold that ball. But I think we started to learn when we move that basketball, we get better results, and the other guys get opportunities, and we get it inside. I think that's the biggest thing. And that's what we tried. I really emphasized with Antonio when he had that double-double a few weeks ago. Not one play was run for him. And he played off everyone else doing their jobs. And so that's when we're trying to make Stelton, Dejuan, some of these other guys understand you still can score and get shots. And good shots if you get to the right spots and everybody else does what they're supposed to do and move the basketball.
And speaking of open looks, Luke Kasuki, what's it going to take to get him on track, and what's holding him back?
Yeah, he had a couple wide open ones, but you got to give him credit. He did he missed a couple and he still shot another one. And so he's got it. I think the thing that surprised me in this, and again, we stuck him into the fire without much preparation. And, he's just had to learn as it goes. He's shown a lot of toughness, a little spunk, a little fight that I didn't know was in there. And, we recruited him because we thought he was intelligent. Great kid, very, very determined. We expected him he came in as a pretty good shooter. He just, he hasn't been able to get those down, but, he came in yesterday and we all teased him a little bit, but, it says something about him coming in the office and wanting to watch and see what he did. So that's a positive step for him, and not when you don't make a shot, it's easy to, I'm not coming in, I'm not going around, but he was there. He's got some toughness and that a little spunk that I didn't know he had.
Thank you, Bruce.
Next question to Todd Lebo.
Hey, Coach, we're almost through this regular part of the season. I wonder if you could I know you don't probably sit and watch basketball every night because you got your own job to do, but generally when you watch college basketball this year, where's the level of play? I've heard a lot of people say it's kind of tough to watch these games. The officiating is a little uneven. It's, the level of play is maybe not there. What are your thoughts about where college basketball is right now as a product to watch and be a part of?
I would not say it's I don't know the word exact. It's not, because we've all had interruption. I mean, you even saw it with Baylor the other night. I mean, there's a few teams, Gonzaga, that just sharp, good, crisp basketball. And now you get interruptions and, with the COVID or injuries or whatever it might be. And people just don't realize it. You don't make that up. I talked to Tom Izzo. He had finally got a couple wins, but they came off of COVID with some veteran guys, and I think they lost 3 in a row, 4 out of 5, something like that. I don't know what it was, but it's hard. So you don't have that. And then I think the officiating, it's been hard on them. We need officials, and we need they're an important part of the game. And they miss their summer work, they miss the exhibitions, and now their travel, they've been disrupted. I talked to one of our league guys the other day, he was stuck with the snow and had games canceled. So he's sitting in a hotel by himself for 2-3 days. It just has not been normal, and it's been hard. It's hard on everybody. It's just not been a perfect season. There's no doubt about that.
Next question to Tim Fitzgerald.
Morning, Coach. I asked you after the game Tuesday how much better your defense was. After going back and watching the film, what were your assessments of defense and particularly Selton Miguel?
Yeah, and I Reeves still scored points, but it took him 18. I think Selton had 7 on the play hard chart, and we might have been through 7 games and he might not have had 7 at the beginning of the season. So his progress with learning to play hard, taking on this role as a defensive stopper. We've always said he's been good on the ball, but I think now he's taking pride in it. And he's done a great job. And it always, your defense, if you got a stopper to, which we've been very, very fortunate, from Barry to Xavier to Dean, I don't think people realize how good Dean was on defense. When you have that, it helps your defense, especially your one-on-one defense. And, there's no doubt. And part of it too, we're getting back on defense. The first time Oklahoma scored all those transition points. So that's your, start of your defense, getting back that transition D. Then you got to be, we're doing a good job of staying compact. Fighting over ball screens has gotten way better. The big guys getting on their line. It's night and day. I mean, it's so far advanced from where we were. But it definitely helps that what Selton's done, because when you can disrupt, the main guy or get him out of rhythm, it always helps. There's no doubt. I think the other thing, I don't know if I brought up to you guys, but I know I brought up to our staff early in the season, other guys on the team always hurt us. And now the other guys aren't having career days, and that's important. So
Follow up, and I found this interesting. Of course, if you hold your opponent to fewer points, your chance to win goes up. But you've held opponents to fewer than 60 points 6 times this year, the last 3 games included, and you're 5-1 in those games. Is that, you've only won 2 games that the opponent's gone over 60? Is that a pretty clear, almost like a barrier there, where your chances go way down if the opponent goes over 60?
Yeah, and I think I joked with you guys after Kansas, so I called Coach Southwell late at night, and I said, "What do we got to do against TCU?" And he said, "Coach, didn't you just watch the game? We got to score. We got to make baskets." And I just said to him, "I'll be honest, I think it's the other way. We got to stop them." And because we haven't scored. I've told our guys that's not changing right now. That changes in the off season. Your habits and getting in the gym and all that stuff. So there's no doubt it gives you a chance. I hope they feel good about it. I hope they have some pride with it. And if we can continue this, this last stretch of the season, it gives us a chance to be competitive and find ways to get wins too. There's no doubt about that.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep. I would tell you guys that when we do shoot in practice, we actually make shots. And I don't know what it is in games, but because we'll get a lot of shots up in practice, and they'll make them. But we get the games, I'm not sure what that happens. But at least we're finding we've made some progress.
Okay, we'll do one last question to Michael Goins.
Hey, Bruce, I think McCall Maween was a little bit underappreciated for his interior defense and his hedges. How far has Davion Bradford come in that category?
I think I mentioned it the other day to you guys, the big guys, their mobility, getting up there, being in the ball screen, understanding where, not only being there, but how to defend that. And I said many times, Mac was one of the best ball screen defenders in the country, if not the best. He was so active. He would be up the line. When we wanted to hedge, he could hedge. When we wanted to be a flat hedge, he could do that. He learned those concepts. And I think those guys are starting to understand where to be. And we played some pretty good guards, and we've been able to contain them and not let them get those clear, open pathways to the basket. So And along with that, our other help has been better too. So if you get another guy in there helping, that makes it easier for the big guy to be at his line and recover and get back to his man.
And from an overall perspective, how much more aggression is your team playing with?
Well, we had 45 on our play hard chart, and that was the season high. And, I told our guys we would need a special effort and special production to beat a top team. And it's going to have to be the same thing on Saturday. But, we had so many guys that, it started with the play hard. Dejuan had 11, Mike had 10, Selton had 7. I joked about that. Nigel had 7, Davion had 6. I mean, those are big time numbers. We're playing much harder, more aggressive. Our defense is better. And then slowly but surely our offense has made some strides.
Thank you, Bruce.
Okay, we'll do one last question to Grant Flanders.
Hey, Coach, I just wanted to ask how excited you guys are about Dean Wade and his, getting starts in the NBA now.
Yeah, I texted him last night. It's funny because, our former guys, when Dean first started coming to campus and playing, when he played, when he had first summer, our former guys said, Coach, and these guys, were professionals. They said Dean can be an NBA player. And along the way, I sat in many individual meetings with Dean, and I'd say, what's your goal? And he said, well, I just want to, help our team be good. And I said, I'm asking about your goal. And he would never say it, but I would always say, Dean, you are an NBA player. And you belong there. You're good enough, and you got to believe it. And that was my text message to him last night. I said, you belong here, bud. Now take advantage of the opportunity. So it was, he had the big dunk the other night, got on a lot of social media after that, maybe Sports Center even, I don't know, but because I had a lot of people reach out about it. And obviously to start and get 11 and 6, really, really happy and proud of him. And then Xavier Sneed had a big game yesterday, I think 16 and 6 and 4, something like that in the G League. And I think he's had pretty good production back-to-back, pretty good games. So always happy when those guys have success.